All right, today we are going to crack the code of the research paper. We're going to break down that standard structure, the one called IMRaD. And to do it, we're actually going to take a pretty cool trip back in time to see why this whole format even exists in the first place. So let me ask you, have you ever opened a scientific paper and just felt completely lost, like you're staring at a wall of text? Yeah, if you felt that, you are definitely not alone. It can feel like trying to read a map without a legend. But hey, stick with me, because I promise that by the end of this, you'll have the key to navigate pretty much any research article with a whole lot more confidence. Okay, so to really understand the order we have today, we first have to appreciate the chaos of the past. So let's wind the clock way back, to a time before research journals were even a thing. Before 1665, science was a very, very private affair. I mean, if you made a discovery, you'd share it in personal letters, or maybe you'd discuss it in these small, exclusive meetings. The result? It was a mess. It was totally unstructured. Brilliant ideas could just disappear. And people often didn't get credit for their own work. It was just super inefficient and, honestly, pretty unreliable. But then, everything changed. The middle of the 17th century brought a revolution. Not a revolution of swords and cannons, but one of paper and ink. It was a revolution in how we share knowledge itself. The year was 1665. Just lock that date in your head. This was the turning point. A single year that really laid the foundation for modern scientific communication as we know it. So, in March of that year, two groundbreaking publications appeared almost at the same time. Over in France, you had the Journal des Sçavans, and in London, the Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society. And just like that, for the very first time, scientific findings were made public. This created a permanent, accessible record for everyone else to learn from, to challenge, and to build upon. And the impact was huge. I mean, it was immediate and profound. This new model just threw the doors of knowledge wide open to all scholars, not just a select few. It created an official record which helped stop people from doing the same work over and over and helped settle arguments about who discovered something first. And this is crucial. It paved the way for the system of peer review, which is what ensures the quality and credibility of research even today. So, this new era of public, structured science meant we needed a clear, logical format, right? A kind of universal blueprint that everyone could follow. And that need is what gave rise to the structure we use today. And that blueprint is called IMRaD. It's an acronym, and it stands for the 4 core sections of pretty much any modern research paper: introduction, methodology, results, and discussion. It's a really simple structure, but it is the backbone of countless articles across almost every single academic field. So here's the magic of it. Each section answers a specific question. The introduction tells you why the research was done. What's the big problem here? The methodology explains how they did it, which is super important so other people can verify the work. The results section shows you what they found, just the raw data, the facts. And finally, the discussion explains the big so what. What do all these results actually mean in the grand scheme of things? A really simple way to remember it is to think of it like a story. The introduction, that's the setup, where we learn what's going on. The methodology, that's the journey the hero, or the scientist, takes. The results are the climax, the big reveal. And the discussion, well, that's the moral of the story. It's what we learned from it all. Of course, IMRaD is the core, but it's not the whole story. A full paper also has a title and an abstract to give you that quick overview, keywords so you can find it easily, a conclusion to wrap it all up, and of course references to give credit to all the other work that came before. All these pieces wrap around that IMRaD structure to make the whole thing work. Okay, so we've covered the history, we've covered the structure, but let's get real. Why does any of this actually matter to you? How can knowing about IMRaD become your own academic superpower? Well, understanding IMRaD is a total game changer. It lets you read papers strategically. You can jump right to the section you need instead of just reading from start to finish. It gives you a really strong framework for your own writing, whether that's a simple class assignment or your first big thesis. And honestly, it helps you appreciate the elegant, structured way that we as humans build, check, and share knowledge. As the researcher Borg pointed out, engaging with this format is about way more than just finding facts. It's a fundamental part of how you develop as a thinker, as a writer, and as a researcher. It really sharpens your mind and teaches you to think in a logical, structured way. So the IMRaD structure brought order out of total chaos, and it has served science so well for centuries. But now we live in this wild age of artificial intelligence, interactive data, and all these brand new ways of communicating. So that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. What will the next great revolution in sharing knowledge actually look like?